Today we get started with the second round of the Western Conference playoffs as the Golden State Warriors are set to face off against the number one seed Minnesota Timberwolves, who feel like the favorite in the Western Conference. They finished with the best record, the best point differential, and I think their combination of experience and talent positions themselves to make a run into the finals. But I think this team is capable of knocking them off and potentially getting the upset. Last episode, we had Game 5 against the Jazz. We ended up winning 131-124. 38 points on very good shooting for Kajai Stokes. His efficiency was definitely up and down throughout this series, being matched up with Martin Sifa, who's a great defender. 21 for Destino, 20 boards for Adembona. Salis and Loggins-Burrell really did not shoot the ball well. As for Utah, 35 for Samuel Queen. He was their best player in this game. Yontair Kingsley filled up the stat sheet as well. Norwood Nobles struggled 8 of 19 from the field, 0 for 4 from deep. Nobles was so good in the other games, but it seemed like the youngster kind of ran out of gas. We were able to win the series in 5, and going into it, I wanted to get the Jazz out of the way in as little games as possible because, as we saw last year, we were up 3-0 in the first round against OKC. We lose Game 4 because we didn't take it that seriously. And then Evan Mobley gets injured in Game 5, and we could not match up with San Antonio in the second round because, well, we obviously needed Evan Mobley. Luckily, no one got hurt in Game 5 this time around. KJ in the first round averaged 32 on 61% true shooting. His efficiency was not that good game to game, but overall, it ended up being quite high. We got the full Roman Loggins-Burrell experience, averaging nearly 23, 9, and 4. Shooting was up and down, particularly from the line. 47% is not particularly good. But we saw the good and the bad with him, which obviously, as we know, consistency is his issue. 44 points in Game 1, was really good in Games 3 and 4. And then the last game, though, he didn't shoot the ball well, but he had 10 assists and 0 turnovers after only 8 assists in the first 4 games combined. Then we get to Antoine Salis, who's really not shooting the ball well. 36% from the field, 26% from 3, 44% true shooting. He is in the midst of a bad slump. Was solid in the first 2 games, but has just fallen off the face of the planet ever since. 3 for 19 from deep in his last 3 games. And then he's 15 of 49 from the field. That's rough. That cannot continue. He's got to play better. We need him to look more like the Antoine Salis that we got over the regular season and not the last 3 games, where he has been put into a box by Martin Sifa and others. In terms of the rotation to start this series, we're going to roll with the same thing that we ended with. Evan Mobley was not particularly effective in Game 5 after missing the last few games, but we are going to play him. Adembona is going to play a lot, and Jabari Springer will remain out for Games 1 and 2. Anything after that, depending on how the series starts, I'm open to. Minnesota beat the Spurs in 5, despite 52 free-throw attempts. That is a lot. Victor Wembanyama did his best to carry the load for San Antonio, averaging right around 36 and 19. But this roster for the Spurs is just not good. Ever since Luka Doncic tore his Achilles early in the year, it felt like they were destined for this. And when Anthony Davis dislocated his patella, they were a sinking ship. They were giving 30 minutes a game to the 50th pick in the draft this year. That tells you where they were. Very balanced for Minnesota. KJ Jeffries only went 1 of 8 from 3, but he led the way with 29. PG and Porzingis combined for a very efficient 53. Dillingham had a double-double. Cat had a triple-double. Anthony Edwards only shot the ball 11 times, which is kind of weird considering how prolific of a scorer he's been this year. He averaged 34 in the first-round matchup for Minnesota. Rob Dillingham not too far behind him at 30. This is going to be a tough defensive matchup for us because it's not like we just have to focus on Anthony Edwards. They have 2 elite offensive players in the backcourt. They go really 6 deep. They've got a very clear group of 6 best players, and then the bench is kind of the question mark with this team, especially considering their main backup big, Amir Brooks, tore his Achilles earlier in the year. So they're not an overly deep team. That's the weakness with this Minnesota squad, and I think that's where we can get them. But their top 6 is as good as anybody's in the NBA. Obviously led by Anthony Edwards, a 95 overall. Edwards has already shown that he can be the number 1 on a championship team because he's already done that. Dillingham in the backcourt. Towns and Porzingis in the front court. Paul George, who they got at the deadline for nothing. He was not playing well early this year with Denver, but has been really good with this Minnesota team. Clearly hungry for a championship at 38 years old, the oldest player in the NBA. We got swept by Minnesota this year. First time around, lost by 9, despite a great showing from Rolog. 48 for Rob Dillingham, 30 for Anthony Edwards. The common theme when we played against Minnesota is that one of their guards went off. We had a hard time guarding both of these guys, and it showed in at least one of them. In this case, both of them playing really well. Second time around, we lost by 19. This is back in January when we were super injured. It was really just Soaks and Salis leading the offense. Springer, 5 of 21. Good God. 45 for Anthony Edwards. See? One of their guards always plays really well. Then our new look team, after the trade deadline, lost by 11 in late February, 174-163. So even though we got swept, we were not blown out in any of the games. We kept it competitive in all 3 matchups. 28 for Salis. Bona had 23 in 16 minutes. Destino and Springer did not shoot the ball well, while, speak of the devil, 43 for Anthony Edwards. Paul George did not shoot it well, but everybody else did. In the regular season, Edwards averaged nearly 35 points a game, amongst the very best scorers in the NBA. Dillingham at 27. KJ Jeffries, who's been the Swiss Army knife off the bench, with 19, 13, and 6, along with 3.5 stocks per game. In the last episode, I compared him to Darius Springer. He's not the scorer and the shot maker that Springer is. Let me make that very clear. But the rest of his game and the rest of his numbers are really similar. Cat and Porzingis have both had solid seasons. 2 veterans who both have won championships. And then Paul George, of course, playing good ball at 38 years old. Adem Bona, sore left knee in practice. That's not good because our starting center, Evan Mobley, is already playing through an injury. Our backup big, Jabari Springer, is already out with an injury. We only had one healthy big. That was Adem Bona, and now he's hurt. None of our bigs are healthy. Since, well, he can play through it, he's going to have to. So Adem Bona will still go. As we take a look at both lineups, no changes for the Warriors. Minnesota rolling with their regular 5. How will the Warriors guard the backcourt? And even if Anthony Edwards is quiet, they have Rob Dillingham, who's as good of a scorer and shot maker as anyone across the league. Mobley wins the tip. We're underway here in Game 1. I think this Golden State team has what it takes to make a run in the Western Conference playoffs. But we've got to get by the top seed first. Edwards with the first points of the game. In with the slam. Kuminga looking for the screen from Mobley. On the drive, Kuminga swings it out. Destino for 3 is good. Ranking Destino on the board for Golden State. We're going to need him to be good, especially on defense, regularly matched up with either Edwards or Dillingham. Cat, pump fake. Why not let it fly? In my opinion, the greatest shooting big man in the history of the NBA knocks down the 3. In transition, Edwards triple off the missed 3 throw. Warriors call time. Just 2 made shots in the first roughly 3 minutes of the game. The offense not looking good early. Dribble handoff. Kuminga on the drive. Swings it out. Loggins Burrow for 3. That one is good. We need him to consistently shoot the ball at a high level. When he's on, he's better than anyone. But that's not always the case. Kuminga inside. Mobley the layup. Mobley did not make a field goal in Game 5 against the Jazz. Good to see him looking to be more active offensively in this one. Dillingham, the lob for the big man. Kristaps Porzingis, 12-9. Here is Destino matched up with Dillingham. Not a great defender. That's a matchup I think we can exploit. Pick and roll. Mobley off the lob. And we are within 1. 14-11 now. D'Anthony Melton in the game, the former Warrior. Here's Salis. Sends it over to Herb Jones for 3. That one is good. Jones knocks it down. He's given us good playoff minutes. Even for a veteran, he hasn't played a lot of playoff basketball, being banished in New Orleans. But he's looked good so far, matched up with Towns. Fadeaway is good. Nice defense, just better offense for Karl Anthony Towns. Dribble handoff, Salis with it. Him and Mobley with a little 2-man game. 3 on the shot clock. Gonna have to get it off quick. Salis beats the buzzer. His first shot of the game is good. Hopefully a sign of things to come. We need him to give us consistent production. He cannot shoot us out of games again. Right wing 3 is good. Not a bad start for Salis. He's got 5, making his first 2 shots. Edwards over to Porzingis. He's got Towns. Corner 3 is good. Karl Anthony Towns playing well to start for Minnesota. Anthony Edwards with it for the Wolves. Looking to get someone open. Instead, moves himself. Nice pivot. Nice finish. And the flex. 9 points so far for Ant as it's 21-19. Destino with the fake. Only 4 on the shot clock. On the drive. Lefty layup is good. Nice maneuver by Destino to get some space. Make the bucket. 21-21. Anthony Edwards for 3. Knocks it down. And Minnesota is back ahead. 24-21. Here is Destino on the drive. Up and in. Counting and a foul. And 1 for ranking Destino. He's got 9 points so far, playing very well offensively. Salis, sidestep. Bang! 8 points off the bench. This is the Antoine Salis we know and love. I don't want to jump the gun, but he might be back. KJ Jeffries over Jones. Nice fade as Jeffries has his within 1. Now Minnesota's up by 1. Kajai Stokes back in the game. Has not scored yet for the Warriors, but that'll change right here. In for the layup. Golden State back ahead. 31-28. The rookie Herman Floyler. Layup. No. Ball is tipped. Salis has got it. Here comes Golden State in transition. Salis gets a good look for 3. And it goes! 11 points in the first quarter for Antoine Salis. Where has this guy been? Jones, step back. No. Minnesota likely to get the final shot here of the quarter, but it's stolen away. Ramon Hodge with it. He's got Salis on the drive. Layup. No. Good defense by Jeffries. Floyler the rebound. Heaves it up from half court off the mark. 31-28. Hard to be upset through 1. Golden State playing good basketball. Antoine Salis might be back. He's got 11. Ranking Destino has 9. The 2 of them have been really solid. Edwards leads the way with 12 as Porzingis is the first to score here in the second. 34-30. Stokes. Oh my goodness, he broke his ankles. The cross on Melton. Good switch by Tyler Smith. Unable to score off of that as Hodge loses it. Jeffries with the steal. Stokes tries to poke it out. He cannot. Jeffries all the way would end up getting fouled. So we are unable to take advantage of the sick crossover by Stokes. Kind of just crossed him up again. Layup all the way is good for Kajai Stokes. It's a 3-point lead for the Warriors. Tyler Smith gets it up for Jalen Clark. Clark on the drive. Nice move. Layup is good. Minnesota's experimenting here with the end of their bench. As I said earlier, the weakness of this team, giving a lot of guys some extra run as Porzingis is there with the interception off the pass by Stokes. Clark inside. KJ Jeffries with it. Gets by Rolog. In for the layup. And Minnesota is back ahead 37-36. Here is Salis matched up with Clark. A tough defender on the perimeter. Nothing Salis can't handle. In for the layup. He's up to 13 points. Continuing to shoot the ball well. And that was a really nice move. Porzingis had a chance to block that shot. And Salis did not let him. Loggins-Burrell all the way on the drive. With the reverse slam. Timeout Minnesota. As Loggins-Burrell is fired up. Rob Dillingham on the drive. His shot won't go. Rob Dillingham has been a total negative for Minnesota so far. He's 0 for 7. Destino, meanwhile, I don't think has missed. Kuminga, layup, no. Gets his own miss. Kuminga has not scored. He does have 4 assists. Shot clock at 4. Stokes on the drive with the jam! And a good rebound by Kuminga to keep the possession alive. Stokes doing all of his scoring from around the basket. That's where he was most effective in Game 5 against the Jazz. Loggins-Burrell, Stokes, pump fake, fakes out. Jeffries makes the dunk. Kajai Stokes has been matched up with Jeffries over the last few minutes. Kind of a weird matchup because Jeffries is clearly bigger. But Kajai Stokes has dominated him. Cat gets that one over Kuminga. But more on Stokes and Jeffries. Stokes has been too quick to handle offensively. Case in point. And then on defense, Stokes has locked him up. Destino on the drive makes the layup. Rob Dillingham just doesn't really match up with any of our guards. They're all too big and strong. As Kuminga finally on the board off the lob from Rolog. Good play there by Kuminga, 48-40. The Warriors looking the part early. Jeffries, his struggles continue, misses the 3. We might have to look at this matchup more. In transition, bang! Stokes buries it. An 11-point lead for Golden State. 51-40 on their home turf. Dillingham misses again. Destino with the rebound. Here's Stokes over to Loggins-Burrell. Rolog on the drive with... Oh, he missed the poster! And now Minnesota's looking to move fast. Dillingham has it for the Wolves, and he loses it. Stokes with the steal. Rob Dillingham 0 for 8, turning the ball over, not playing good defense. It's been bad. It's been really bad. Destino on the drive. He's blocked! Tyler Smith with the snuff. Here comes the Wolves. Towns with it. Matched up with Stokes. That's not an ideal matchup. He's got Jeffries. Jeffries fakes the pass. Looks to get around the screen from Smith. On the drive. Mobley stays with him. 3 on the shot clock. Jeffries. Blocked by Mobley. It's a defensive duel right now. Minnesota has not scored in the last 2+ minutes. Destino, pump fake. The Wolves doubled him before he could shoot over Dillingham. Kuminga, his pass is tipped. Stokes tries to lasso it in. He does. Here is Stokes. Layup. No! No one wants to score the basketball. This is ugly. Here's Tyler Smith all the way with the slam. Finally, the drought that lasted over a minute for both teams. 4 to go in the half. Here is Dillingham up to Towns. Top of the key. 3 is buried. The Wolves are back within 5. Their offense starting to look like an actual competent offense. Dillingham goes flying. Destino out to Jones for 3. Destino called for a foul. The bucket still counts. Another bad defensive possession by Rob, forcing the double team, leading to the open shooter. Edwards, layup, yes, as he gets by Salis. Minnesota within 6. Honestly impressed that the game is this close with how bad Dillingham has been. Destino in the corner. Salis with it around the screen. Salis with the release. 16 in the first half for Antoine. Dillingham around the screen. Wide open 3. Clank. He could build a barn with all these bricks. Herb Jones. Destino. Open triple is good. 14 for Destino. He's been the best player on the floor. As Dillingham is blocked. I mean, what else is there to say? He has given them nothing. I think he is 0 for 9, 0 for 10 at this point. Inbound. Dillingham again. No. Rebound by Destino. Here comes Golden State. Destino on the drive. Lobs it up for Jonathan Kuminga. And look at the scoreboard. It is a 14-point lead for the Warriors. I don't know why Dillingham is in the game. Like, they're better off just going with, like, D'Anthony Melton. Don't foul the jump shooter. Paul George, you're the oldest player in the league. You should know better. Herb Jones would make all 3 at the line. 15-point lead. Edwards inside. Porzingis with the layup over at Dembona, who's been quiet. The knee injury clearly affecting him. Both of our bigs are hurt. It hasn't mattered because it's so easy to drive off of Dillingham. Edwards with the steal inside for Dillingham all the way. Finally, an and one slam for Rob Dillingham, who scores his first points of the game. Here is Stokes inside. Salis matched up with Rob. Goes up for Loggins-Burrell. Oh, barbecue chicken, baby, all the way. Nice move. That was actually really good defense by Cat, but a terrific maneuver by Loggins-Burrell, not letting Towns get a hand on the ball. 67-55. Towns for 3. Don't foul the jump shooter. Now, Roman Loggins-Burrell is 22, not 38, unlike PG, but still not ideal. Cat makes them all. Kuminga probably should have baited into the foul. Towns went flying, but we'll take the mid-ranger instead. 6 points, 6 dimes for Kuminga. Missed his first 4 shots, 3 of 3 since. 30 seconds left in the half. Here's Paul George with it, matched up with Rolog. Over to Edwards for 3. Heavily contested. Won't go. Dembona the rebound. Warriors looking to push the pace. Stokes, open 3. On the way! 72-58, 16 in the first half for Kajai Stokes. Shot clock unplugged. Will Minnesota hold it? No. Quick 3. Quick make for Anthony Edwards, who's got 19 points on very strong efficiency, 8 of 12. Here is Destino on the drive, matched up with Dillingham. He's doubled. Kuminga, pump fake with 2. Cat doesn't bite. Kuminga misses the dunk at the buzzer. That'll wrap up the first half. 72-61. Warriors playing some good basketball. Edwards with 19. Towns with 17. Everybody else has been very bleh for Minnesota. Dillingham, 1 for 10. Stokes with 16. Salis with 16. Destino with 14. The guard play has led the way for us. Stokes hasn't been super efficient. He's taken 15 shots. The other two, though, Salis and Destino, are a combined 11 of 15. They have been rock solid. The Warriors shooting the three ball really well, 11 of 21. That's as good as it gets. We're not scoring off of turnovers, though. This is one of the better transition teams in the NBA. Minnesota's turned it over 5 times. We have 0 points off of turnovers as Dillingham starts the scoring in the second half with the lob. He's up to 5. Dillingham finds Edwards for a cutting Porzingis. Good start to the third for Minnesota as they are within 7. Stokes gets it to Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga hands it off for Rankin Destino with Dillingham. Fades off, and that one is good. 16, 4, and 4 for Rankin Destino. 9-point game into traffic for Stokes as Destino wide open. Bang! Destino shot 57% from 3 in the first round, 3rd highest percentage in the NBA. The only guy who had a higher percentage who won in the first round, Karl Anthony Towns, 62%. Off the steal, whoop! The fake and the finish! Rankin Destino, what a move! 21 points for Destino. That leads Golden State. Edwards with Stokes. Golden State up by 12. Cannot give him that much space. You got to be fearful of Edwards because of his ability to drive, but he can also really shoot it as well. Stokes, Kuminga in the corner. Rolog, pump fake. George doesn't bite, but Rolog can just run by him. I mean, he is 16 years younger and a whole lot faster. 83-72, 8.5 in the third. Here's Paul George with it. George throws up a 3. That one rattles home. Beats the shot clock. Nice shot for PG. 83-75. Herb Jones loses it. George pokes it out on the drive. Here comes Minnesota. Rob Dillingham with it. Dillingham around the screen. Long 2 is good. Give him credit. He's playing better, at least offensively, as we are within 6. Closest this game has been in the second half. Jones in the corner. Kuminga for 3. Over Cat. It's good! 8 assists today for Jonathan Kuminga. Even though the shooting's been a little inconsistent, he's had a really impressive game as a playmaker. Who would have thought? Towns around the screen. Knocks down the 3. It rattles in. And the lead is back within 6. Edwards in takeover. Rolog loses it. Towns with the steal. Here comes Minnesota. They can make it a one-score game. Dillingham all the way with the jam. 88-84. The Wolves playing really sound basketball here in the third. Here's Loggins. Burrell. Floater. No. Grabs his own rebound. In with the putback. He knew how to position himself in case he missed it. 13, 8, and 3 for Loggins. Burrell has not shot the ball great, but has made a very positive impact on the basketball game. Off the miss. Loggins. Burrell lobs it up for Mobley. Really smart pass. He was somewhat open for 3, but he knew we would have a much better chance of getting the 2, and a nice highlight play as well. Jones with 8. Gets it over to Destino. Matched up with Dillingham. Layup is good. I get that Dillingham's a net negative, but who else is he going to guard? You can't put him on Stokes or Loggins Burrell. That would be a mistake. So Destino's going to continue to take advantage, I guess. Off the miss from George. Here is Kuminga. Looks to find space inside, and he does. Layup is good. The Wolves had it within 4 at one point, but now we're starting to play like we did in the first half again. 98-90. Here is George. Looking for the screen from Porzingis. He gets it in the corner for 3. Playoff PG has been good so far for Minnesota. Could be his last chance to win a title. George, jumper. It's good. 98-95. Now it's a 2-point game. Minnesota's playing well again. Stokes, wide open 3. Clank. Inconsistent 3-point shooting today for KJ. Got to make the open ones. Salis tries to draw the charge. I think he should have gotten the call. His feet were clearly set. Edwards makes the layup, though. We are tied at 99. Stolen by Jeffries. Wolves can take the lead. Edwards gets by Hodge with the slam! Minnesota on top. It would not be for long, though, as we would tie the game. 101-101. Salis for 3. Big-time shot by Antoine Salis. Warriors back ahead. Here's Minnesota. Edwards, jumper. No. Rebound. Stokes. He's got 6. We've got to move fast. Stokes with Dillingham. That could be the matchup. Stokes can't get open. Gonna send it to Salis at the buzzer. It is good! Antoine Salis at the buzzer for 3. The official ruling is that he did not get it off in time. In real time, I felt like he did. Right there. 0.1 on the shot clock. The ball is out. So this one will count. Minnesota took the lead. They were really playing well. But in the final minute, we go on an 8-0 run. I shouldn't even say we. Antoine Salis by himself went on an 8-0 run to put us back up by 6 going into the 4th. Wow, what a finish by Salis, playing some terrific basketball this afternoon. He didn't score, oddly enough, before this run, but he made some shots when it mattered, and the Warriors, who did not play well for most of the third, right back up by 6. Salis with 8. Destino with 9. 4 of 4 shooting for him. Loggins-Burrell with a strong quarter. The Minnesota crowd is loud. They know they need some stops. Nice move by Salis. He's not missing. 26 points for Antoine Salis. What a showing by the youngster from France. Dillingham, nice spin. He's in for the layup. Productive third quarter for Rob. He went 3 for 6. Salis on the drive. Layup. No. Salis. Oh, no. He's hurt. Grabbing at his knee. Here comes Minnesota. Tyler Smith in transition. Layup is good, but concern on the other end of the floor. Antoine Salis grabbing at his left knee on a night where he has scored 26 points on fantastic shooting. He's able to walk it off on his own power. I guess that's a good sign. But man, that is brutal. So originally I thought it was his right knee. Non-contact, bad landing. That's not what happened. It was his left knee. As he was going in for the layup, his knee banged with DeAnthony Melton. So it's not non-contact, which has been encouraged. Still not good, though, especially after he broke his kneecap early in the second round of last year's playoffs. How is that not a foul? I feel like they gave us one there. Loggins-Burrell, I guess with good defense, if they didn't call it, on offense, makes the layup over Tyler Smith, 7-point game. Jeffries for 3, won't go. Kuminga, the rebound. Here comes Golden State, obviously missing some scoring without Salis. Stokes around the screen for 3. It's good! 20 points for Kajai Stokes. We need him to shoot the 3 ball well. He did in Game 5 against the Jazz. Today, not so much. Rob Dillingham gets one right back, though. He says, well, you can do, I can do better. 115-108. Tyler Smith has it for the Wolves. Up for Melton. Kuminga flying in. No. Rebound. Jeffries put back. We are within 5. Now within 7 with 9 minutes to go. Here is Melton guarded by Destino. Looking for the screen from Cat. Melton tightly guarded still. Back out to Towns. Throws up a 3. No. Destino with the rebound. Here comes the Warriors. Destino with it. He gets it over to Stokes. And look at the bottom right. Sprained left knee for Salis. We dodge the worst case scenario. He will not return today, but it's not likely a long-term injury. Thank goodness. Stokes misses the 3. On the other end, Jeffries, it's a charge. Kids, you got to learn how to set your feet. Ranking Destino does just that. Stokes out to Jones, buries the triple. Herb Jones for 3. It's an 11-point game. Towns inside, matched up with Bona. He's got Smith. Out to Dillingham. Dillingham looking for the screen. Another 3. Another make. Minnesota's got to go on a run like they did in the third. To think the Wolves actually had the lead here in the second half at one point, as that one is good for KJ. I don't know how he made that shot. George and Jeffries all over him, slips it by them, and kind of throws it up. What a maneuver by Kajai Stokes. 10-point game. Dillingham on the drive. Passes it out. Not quite, buddy. A turnover for Robert Dillingham. He's been a lot better in the second half, but still some bad plays. Destino passes out of the double. Jones for 3. I think we figured out this Minnesota defense. If we're going to drive on Dillingham, they're going to double us. Ranking Destino is as good of a passer and playmaker as there is in the league. So that's going to set up so many opportunities for others. Good 3, though, by Porzingis. 118-128. Edwards misses. Mobley, the rebound, his 10th. 2 points shy of the double-double. Loggins-Burrell on the drive all the way. Layup. Yes! How did that one go? 19-8-5 for Rolog. Jeffries with 5 minutes to go. It's a 12-point game. Jeffries with Kuminga. Inside, Paul George. Layup. Yes! And the lead sits at 10. 130-120. Here's Loggins-Burrell. He finds Destino over to Kuminga in the corner for Kajai Stokes. Stokes around the screen for 3. Rainbows it in. 26 for Stokes. He's making his 3s here when it matters in the fourth. 13-point game. Melton drives. Melton layup. Yes. Big shot for Minnesota. Interesting that Melton is getting some of these closing minutes instead of Rob Dillingham. Dillingham is not in. The other members of their core 5 are. And it's hard to disagree with his struggles today, especially defensively. Towns hits the three, swings into the corner. Edwards for three. Wow, back-to-back triples for Minnesota. They cut the lead more than in half, as we are within 5 with 2.5 to go. Mobley over to Loggins-Burrell. Got to score on this possession. Loggins-Burrell passes out of the shot over to Stokes. Matched up with Edwards. Dillingham back in the game, looking to take advantage of the matchup. Destino on the drive. He's blocked! Tingus Pingus with the denial. Here comes the Wolves. Edwards, he can cut it within 2. No! Porzingis, the rebound. Porzingis all the way is fouled. He would make both, and it is a one-possession game. An 8-0 run for Minnesota, as we're now at 2 minutes to go. Here's the double. Stokes is open. Good job getting out of the double by Minnesota, though. We'll go back to Destino instead, and that one is good. If they're going to get out of the double, why not just try to score one-on-one with Rob Dillingham? It's kind of a foolproof plan. Either we have Dillingham matched up alone, or somebody else is open. Edwards, jumper. That one is good. 135, 132, 39 points for Anthony Edwards. Normal day for him with his season average at around 35. Stokes hands it off for Roman Loggins-Burrell. Rolog over to Destino. 3-point game, minute and a half left. Destino on the drive. He fakes. He's doubled. Stokes. Good job getting out of the double again by Minnesota. We have to take a bad shot. It won't go. Minnesota's clearly practiced this defensive strategy to double and get out of the double as soon as Destino or whoever the ball handler would be makes the pass. Porzingis, layup. We are within 1. 135, 134. Minnesota alive and well in this game. 1-point deficit. Destino on Dillingham. There's the double. Loggins-Burrell's open. They get out of the double again. Edwards switches. Stokes over to Destino. Under a minute left. Destino, pull-up jumper. Yes, it's good. 27 for Destino. That was not a great shot, but he gets it to rattle home. 137, 134. Minnesota uses a timeout, and I think we're going to shift the lineup a little bit. We need our best defenders in the game. Herb Jones is probably our best one. I'm going to put him with Edwards. We're going to have Stokes at the 3, and Rolog is going to be out of the game for the time being, especially considering Minnesota's probably going to start fouling, and he's not the guy we want shooting free throws, put it that way. George will inbound inside for Dillingham. Back out. Edwards, the tie. No. Destino, the rebound. They will not look to foul yet. I guess we're going to try to choose some clock. Oh, my goodness. Look at this matchup. That means Dillingham's going to be matched up with somebody way bigger. And he's got Mobley. Oh, that's not even fair. Mobley with 5. Backs out. Fade away. No, he missed it. That was on the rim for about 5 seconds. One-score game. Wolves can tie it or bring it within 1. Edwards to Dillingham. Dillingham drives. Dillingham layup. Misses it. Jones and Stokes with the defense. Mobley, the rebound. He is fouled by Rob and will go to the line to shoot a pair. Not the best free-throw shooter on the floor, but certainly a very capable one. Mobley's first shot is good. I'm going to have Rolog in for Kuminga. Kuminga's also an inconsistent free-throw shooter. Rolog is a much better rebounder, and much of the battle of getting to the line is getting rebounds. Mobley misses the second. Wolves will use their final timeout. We'll stick with the same group currently on the floor. George will inbound it for Minnesota. George matched up with Kajai Stokes. He gets it to Rob Dillingham. Dillingham with Destino. Out to Towns. Quick 3. No. Stokes the rebound. He is fouled by Porzingis and is headed to the line. It is not looking good for Minnesota. Down by 4, out of timeouts, and arguably our best free-throw shooter for 2. As he makes the first one. You can make the argument whether he should intentionally miss the second one, get the clock rolling. He'll take the make, though. 28, 5, and 5 for Stokes. Very solid fourth quarter for KJ. He had a dozen on very good splits. Towns for 3. No. Mobley the rebound. They will not foul, and that is going to do it. The Warriors go into Minnesota and knock out the Wolves here in Game 1. 140, 134, your final. The biggest story has to be Antoine Saliz, for good and for bad. Saliz played out of his mind. 26 points, terrific shooting. He was awesome, but he got injured. And while we avoided the worst case scenario, I don't think he's going to be able to come back at least for the next few games. 26 points, 9 of 14 for the field, 6 of 8 from 3 after he was, what, like 3 of 15, 3 of 20? I think it was more like 3 of 20 from deep in his last 3 games against the Jazz. 28, 5, 5, and 3 steals for Stokes. He did not shoot the 3-ball well. Made a couple in the 4th. He missed some open ones, though. 27, 7, and 5 for Destino. He shot the lights out and played great defense. He was our best player. 19, 9, and 6 for Rolog. Inconsistent shooting, but he wasn't bad. Same with Kuminga. He made up for it with the passing. He had 8 assists. As for the Wolves, 39 for Ant. He was very good, per usual. 25 and 14 for Cat. He made his 3s. Porzingis played 42 minutes and was quite strong. Dillingham, not as good. Now, I will give him credit. He played a respectable game in the second half, but he was a net negative on offense in the first half, and he was a net negative defensively the whole game. Jeffries, I thought, was also bad. 3 of 9 from the field, 0 for 3 from deep. Was not good defensively, matched up with smaller guys, particularly Stokes. So we end up taking game 1 in Minnesota as the road team. Even if you take 1 of the first 2, it's hard to be too upset. So let's look at Salis. It's a sprained left knee, out for a week or 2, probably more like a 2-week trajectory. So realistically, his timetable would be probably game 6, if there is a game 6 in this series. As I've talked about, we need injury luck. We've got 4 guys injured. Our luck seems to be starting to slip a little bit. Half the battle is also injury management, though. I think we've taken a cautious approach with Jabari Springer. Mobley looked better in game 1 than he did against the Jazz. Adembona is, I know it doesn't say he's healthy, but after I clicked into the game, I don't think he's 100%, but he's close. Obviously well enough to play. Put it that way. Here into game 2, the Warriors beat Minnesota in game 1, 140 to 134. It'll be interesting to see how we fare without Antoine Salis today, given how effective he was in the first game, and our offense at times had some issues creating our own shots in the 4th, but Destino and Stokes both making big buckets. They were able to help us out and ultimately close the deal. This feels like a must-win for Minnesota as Porzingis quickly in, and he gets fouled. You cannot afford to lose the first 2 games on your home floor. That is a death sentence in the NBA playoffs, especially facing off against an experienced team like us, who's played a lot of playoff basketball. Edwards with the jumper, not a bad start for the Wolves. They lead 4-0. Loggins-Burrell sees a matchup he likes on the drive, has Stokes open in the corner, buries the 3. We need Stokes to hit his open shots. He did not do that consistently up until the 4th quarter of game 1, as Mobley intercepts the lob. Looking to run the floor himself, he's got Stokes in the other corner, no good. Kuminga the rebound and the putback over Karl Anthony Towns. Good finish by Jonathan Kuminga as it's 5-4. Here is Stokes on the drive, spins out of trouble. He finds Mobley. Mobley back up to Stokes with 5. Stokes around the screen, drives in, tries to go for the pick and roll, gets it back. They'll reset the shot clock, so we've got another chance to get this possession through. Pass is poked away. George ends up with it for the Wolves. Step back jumper is good for PG. Both offenses have looked kind of sluggish so far. The defensive intensity cranked up a notch so far to start game 2. Nice move by Destino, his first points of the game. We will continue to look to exploit the matchup with Dillingham on defense. Here is George out to Edwards for 3. Buries that one. Minnesota back ahead, 9-7. Edwards coming off a 39-point performance in the first game. Here is Mobley. Gets by Porzingis. Layup is good. Evan Mobley, I did not know you had that in your bag. That was a nice play. Tied at 9. Here is George on an island with Mobley. George with the cross, the sauce, and the finish. George is old. Mobley is slow and injured. So that's kind of a weird matchup as Towns pokes it away. Edwards has to steal, looking to outrun Stokes, and he will make the floater. Good play there by Anthony Edwards. A lot of turnovers from each side so far. Destino over to Kuminga. Kuminga in the corner. Porzingis goes flying. Mobley, layup is good over KP. Evan Mobley's given us some really nice plays offensively so far. 15-13. Rolog sets the screen. Mobley for 3. Bang! This is normally where Salis would come in. We're not adding to the rotation. Instead, the other guards are all just going to have to play more. As Towns is there with the block. Here is Edwards with it. Pull up 3 is good. We're going to have to be smart with how we conserve our energy levels for Destino, Stokes, and Rolog, the 3 of whom likely pegged to play around 36 minutes each. Stokes open 3, knocks that one down around the screen. 22-19, Wolves lead. Melton, He gets it up for Towns with 4. That's a good matchup for Towns as it bounces in. And it's a 5-point game in favor of Minnesota, who's been the better team so far. Edwards on the drive, looks to get by Jones. That one goes off the back iron, no good. Nice defense in transition from Herb Jones. He's got Stokes. Stokes looks to drive inside, and he does! Takes it all the way to the cup. He's got 8. 24-21. Here is George with it for Minnesota. George in the corner. Melton for 3. That one is good for D'Anthony Melton. 27-21 now. Adembona will inbound it. He gets it out to Stokes. Corner triple. Oh, he knew it was in. With some words to his own bench. Saying, I'm that guy, pal. Trust me, I'm that guy. Stokes again. Won't make that one. Rebound by Towns. Here comes Minnesota with under 2 in the first. Edwards brings it up. Throws up a triple, and it's good. Anthony Edwards and Kajai Stokes are in the midst of a scoring spree. These two are not missing. 30-24 around the screen. How about another? Stokes, his 4th triple of the first quarter. He only made 4 in the last game, 4 of 13. Today shooting it quite a bit better. Edwards looks for another one. He's got it. These two guys are just trading punches like it's a heavyweight boxing match. Here's Stokes on the drive. He's doubled. Out to Jones. Pump fake. Jones on the drive. Has Stokes open. Another one. Bites the dust. 17 for Kajai Stokes. 35-30. Loggins-Burrow with it here at the end of the first. Rolog tries to drive in with the slam. Nice play there by Rolog, and we are within 1 score. Final shot here for Minnesota. It's Edwards with it for the Wolves. From the logo, won't go. 35-32. Both offenses catching fire. 17 for Kajai Stokes, 20 for Anthony Edwards. Stokes has shot better at the 2, though. Edwards 8 of 16 from the field. Stokes 6 of 10. Stokes has made 5 threes. Edwards has made 4. Rolog misses the layup. Outside of Stokes, the Warriors are not shooting it too well. Just 7 of 18 from the field. And 1 for 6 from 3 as Melton buries the top of the key triple. Roman Loggins-Burrow with it, matched up with Clark. Around the screen, on the drive, with the slam! Caught a body. That was Jeffries who got the other end of that poster. 36-38, tip by Jones, stolen by Destino. Warriors can tie or take the lead here. Inside, Loggins-Burrow with it. He tries to get it inside for the rookie, Ramon Hodge, who misses the layup. I thought Hodge was really good in the series against the Jazz. Has not given as much of anything against Minnesota yet. Here is Jeffries. Up top, Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith has guard-like abilities, even though he's built like a big. Hasn't fully realized his potential, but a good rotation player who can score the ball for Minnesota as the 3 is no good. In transition, Jalen Clark matched up with Loggins-Burrow. Layup, yes. 7-point lead for the Wolves. Now we're within 3. Here's Loggins-Burrow with it. He gets it over to Adembona. Hands it off for Destino on the drive. Yes! Even though D'Anthony Melton is a far better defender than Dillingham, he's still smaller than anybody else we're playing. So that's still a matchup we can take advantage of. Karl Anthony Towns around the screen, knocks down the 3. 46-42. Kuminga backs down on Dillingham. Up top, Destino, pump fake. Oh, this is our matchup right here with Rob. Reverse layup is good. I feel like maybe he shouldn't have taken such a hard shot, but it went in. No complaints. 48-46. 5.5 to go in the first half. Jeffries with Kuminga. No, Jeffries the putback. Great play by KJ Jeffries. 50-46. Here is Anthony Edwards. Why not let it fly, young man? Edwards for 3. 53-48 inside Dillingham. I think that one might have been blocked. Otherwise, did he just airball a 3-footer? Here's Rolog inside. Kuminga's blocked. Gets his own miss over to Loggins-Burrow. Been a rough game shooting-wise for Kuminga. I think he is 1 of 8 currently. That is not going to cut it. Loggins-Burrow back up top. Kuminga for 3. It's good. Kuminga and Rolog together were 4 of 18 before that shot, so it's good to get a make-in. Stokes keeps control inside with Dillingham. Stokes, floater. That one goes. And we are knotted up at 53. 21 points for Kajai Stokes here in the first half. That leads Golden State. Here is Jeffries on the drive. Pump fake. Throws it up and in. An and 1 for KJ Jeffries. Destino called for the foul. Porzingis launches up a 3. No. Rebound for Mobley. Here comes Golden State. Here is Rolog with it. Loggins-Burrow on the drive inside. Stokes, pump fake. Edwards goes flying as Kajai Stokes is in for the layup. He's up to 23. 55-55, under 2 to go in the first half. Edwards matched up with Stokes. Edwards lobs it up! Jeffries has given Minnesota a lot more consistent production here in the first half compared to game 1 as Destino has doubled. Minnesota with the steal. Here comes Dillingham with it. Inside, lobs it up again! KJ Jeffries can get up there. He's got some bunnies. As it's now 59-55. Stokes, step back, heat check. Nothing but net! Kajai Stokes is on one tonight. 26 points. Him and Edwards are looking like superstars. As Edwards posters multiple defenders. He dunks over Stokes and Evan Mobley. What a jam by Anthony Edwards. Edwards throws up the mid-ranger, won't go. Rebound by Evan Mobley. Here are the Warriors with less than 30 seconds in the half. Loggins-Burrow with the cross. On the drive, gets it over to Stokes. He finds Mobley. Mobley the fake in the corner for Rolog. Did not shoot the ball well here in the second, but he has a good matchup with Dillingham. Loggins-Burrow backs down. No, he misses it. Got to be able to post up on Rob Dillingham, for Christ's sakes. 3 for 10 overall. Jeffries floats in the layup, and it's a 5-point lead now for Minnesota with just 6 seconds left. Here is Stokes with it. He's got Loggins-Burrow. The same matchup as we just saw, and he misses again! 3 for 11 in the first half is Rolog. Kuminga is 2 for 10. That's 5 of 21 between two players. That is not good enough. And even though Kajai Stokes has 26 points, 9 of 15 shooting, 6 made threes, we still find ourselves down. We still lead the series, though. We've got to keep that in perspective, and we're not the only underdog playing well. Portland leads Memphis 2-0, and Atlanta continues to be the shock at the playoffs. No Chet Holmgren, no best problem. Their best player is hurt, but they still found a way to beat the Nets in the first round, the defending champs. And they took 2 in Boston against a Celtics team who I believe is the best team in the league. As for Minnesota, 25 for Edwards, 10 for Jeffries. Dillingham 0 for 4 from the field. 1 for 14 in the 2 first halves today as Stokes starts the third quarter with a 3. 29 points, 0 assists. None but buckets. Rolog tries to stay on his pivot foot, gets it over to Stokes. He's tripled. Open 3. Clank. Roman Loggins-Burrow and Jonathan Kuminga cannot seem to buy a bucket. And with our smaller rotation only at 8, with no Salis, those guys, especially Rolog being a guard, has to give us more production. Towns in for the layup. I mean, having nearly 50% of your points by one player is not sustainable. We are really seeing the effects of this team without Salis as Kuminga goes in for the and one. Really nice move. Porzingis pleading his case, but I don't think he's going to get what he hopes for. Here is George up for Melton, finds Towns for 3. Karl Anthony Towns in his 14th NBA season, as is Porzingis. This Minnesota team, one of the older teams in the NBA. Stokes is blocked, gets his own miss. Second chance effort is good. Way to follow your own shot. Paul George for 3. No good. George in what I believe is his 19th NBA season. That is a lot. Stokes all the way. Layup is good. Tight man defense from Dillingham. Porzingis comes in late, and it does not matter. 33 for KJ. In the corner, Paul George knocks down the 3. Warriors call time. We need somebody other than Stokes to give us consistent scoring. He cannot be the only guy to be creating his own shot and making buckets. But until then, I guess he's going to keep shooting. Or in this case, dunking. That was bad defense by Minnesota. The lane wide open. 35 points for KJ. He's been hot here in the third. Here's Paul George, another 3 for the Wolves. Even though Stokes is playing out of his mind right now, he has half of our points. Minnesota has not given up this lead. Floater for Stokes. He's got 37. He's been as close to automatic as it gets over the last few minutes. I mean, it's like he put magnets on the rim at halftime. Stokes, step back. Money. 39 for KJ. 13 points in the first 5 minutes of the third as Bona misses the lob. Outside of Stokes, the rest of the team has made one shot. The and one by Kuminga in the second half as Paul George hits yet another 3. He's catching fire. His third triple of the quarter. Stokes, step back again. Too easy. 41 for Kajai Stokes. Bona inbounds it. Guess who? Kajai Stokes makes the layup. He's up to 43, and the lead is within 3. 81-78. Anthony Edwards with it. Edwards fools Rolog, and gets that one to go. A savvy play for Anthony Edwards. Paul George gets it up for Edwards. Bona goes flying. Edwards does as well with the slam. A 6-0 run for Minnesota, orchestrated by Ant-Man, and it's a 9-point lead for the Timberwolves. Here's Paul George, 4 in the third, inside for Tingus Pingus. Takes out Bona and dunks all over him. The Bona just got exploded on. Here is Stokes. He has Kuminga in the corner for 3. That's the first made shot by somebody other than Stokes in the last nearly 7 minutes. 7. Stokes on the drive, layup, counted, and a foul! It's Kajai Stokes' world. We are just living in it. 20 points in the third quarter so far for KJ. He's up to 46 with 15 minutes to go. Edwards with the shrug and the shimmy. He's up to 31. Still playing well, just not quite as good as Stokes. On the drive with the slam. He's getting close to 50. I mean, we could be looking at some records for KJ if he keeps this up. I mean, he is playing unbelievable. This is as good as I've ever seen him. Stokes on the drive. He is fouled. Would go to the line. I don't know why KJ was petting his hair. But Stokes will make them both and is up to 50. Blocked inside by KJ Jeffries. There's a nice play for Minnesota. Off the following inbound, Stokes, why not let it fly for 3? 27 in the quarter. 13-4 run. Stokes has 10 of those points as he gets the rebound. Even though Stokes is playing ridiculous, we're not cutting into this lead really at all. Stokes makes the layup up to 55. 29 in the quarter. That's close to a playoff quarter record, I believe, which we did break last year with Anthony Simons in the Blazers series. Shot clock unplugged. Here is Melton with it. Melton with 2. Gonna have to throw up a shot. And it's good! DeAnthony Melton beats the buzzer. What a shot. And that will wrap up the third quarter. Kajai Stokes was unbelievable. 29 points, 12 of 19 from the field, 2 for 3 from deep. Yet we were outscored in the third by 1. Kuminga was the only other player who scored. He had 6. Outside of Stokes, the rest of the team went 2 for 8 from the field. They didn't shoot it well, and they didn't shoot it often. Kajai Stokes is the only guy generating any kind of offense. He's the only guy we feel comfortable shooting the ball. Makes the dunk, has 57 points. The playoff record in a game, 63. Set by Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Stokes has a real shot to break that. Mobley with the block. Here comes Stokes with it on the other end. Looks to drive in all the way, and one! This guy is unbelievable. He's up to 60. 6-0. Big time 3, though, to answer by Rob Dillingham. Even though Stokes is starting to run out of gas, I don't think we have a choice. We have to play him the rest of the way. No one else is generating offense. Mobley in for the dunk. It is a one-score game. The first basket of the second half by someone other than Stokes or Kuminga. 3 no good. Warriors can bring it within 1 or tie. I know who we're trying to get the ball to here. Stokes on the drive with Melton. Pump fake. Too easy. 62 for KJ. He's breaking this all-time record. He's going to do it soon. Stokes, layup. No. Does not break it there. Rebound by Tyler Smith. Here comes Minnesota. Smith. Dillingham. Wide open. It's good. 6-point lead for the Wolves. Stokes is having maybe the greatest collection of scoring I've ever seen, yet we're not cutting into the lead. Makes the floater. That's 64 points. Breaks Michael Jordan's. Yes, Michael Jordan's playoff record for points in a playoff game as Bona is in for the and one. Now, we've broken that playoff record in the past. 2K21, Odavia Shepherd had 80-something in a loss in the finals, ironically against the Warriors when he was with Cleveland. Good layup by Jeffries. In 2K22 with the Sonics, Oscar J. Vasilin had 99 with the Sonics against, ironically, Minnesota. As Stokes buries the 3. That's 69. How many is he going to get up to? I don't think 100 is in the cards. That would be nuts. Maybe 80? That's possible. Off the miss, Warriors can take the lead. Stokes in the corner. Rolog for 3. Clank. Kajai Stokes has almost 50 points in the second half. Roman Loggins-Burrell has 0. I feel like that's pretty telling. Dillingham around the screen. No. Bona the rebound. Another chance to take the lead in transition. Stokes has it nearing 70 on the drive. Layup. No good. Kuminga, the rebound. Kuminga, no. Jeffries gets it. We cannot take this lead. Edwards, wide open three. No. What are you doing? He tipped it out. How does that happen? Grab the damn rebound. Minnesota would score on the following possession. It's a three-point game. Loggins-Burrell, pump fake. That one is good. He finally scores in the second half. 116-113. Stokes, pump fake. Fakes out Edwards. Stokes, he's too shifty. We're taking Rob Dillingham's nickname. We're snatching it away. 71 for Kajai Stokes. An all-time playoff performance as Paul George hits the three. Stokes has put himself in a scoring conversation with Oscar J. Basile and O'Davia Shepherd tonight. As he makes yet another and one, he'll be up to 73 points. Make it 74 off the free throw. For those of you who were not here for 2K21 or 22, if you're in the same conversation as O'Davia Shepherd and Oscar J. Basile as a scorer, you're doing something right. Good three there by Towns. Here is Stokes on the drive. Passes it out. Kuminga for three. It's good! I feel like the craziest thing about this scoring outburst is that we're not even really forcing shots for the most part. Stokes is still facilitating. He has a lot of assists here in the fourth. Edwards with a nice move. 5-point lead for the Wolves. Here is Stokes, under 3 to go. It's a 5-point game. The same deficit that we had going into halftime, despite the fact that this guy has 48 points since the break. Kuminga, that one is good. At least Jonathan Kuminga's been kind of good scoring in the second half. He's the one other guy who's been at least respectable. Under 2 minutes to go. 3-point game. Stokes on the drive. Nice play. 76. I cannot believe what I'm watching. This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything quite like this. Stokes for the lead. Won't go. We've brought it within one on numerous occasions in the fourth, but we can't take the lead. Dillingham layup. It's good. 3-point lead for the Wolves. Timeout Golden State. We've got to give Stokes a breather. I mean, who else is going to be shooting the ball here over the next minute unless he's doubled, which they're not. Stokes matched up with Edwards. Passes out over to Loggins-Burrell. Rolog on the drive. Back up to Stokes. 10 on the shot clock. Minute 16 left overall. Stokes, the drive. No good. Porzingis with the stop. And here comes Minnesota. Edwards has it inside. George, yes! 5-point game. Great play by Paul George, who's been an electric factory in the second half. Maybe not as good as Stokes, but he's been arguably Minnesota's best player in the second half. Stokes matched up with Edwards. Stokes on the drive. He's trapped. Passes it out. Kuminga wide open. It's good! Jonathan Kuminga shooting the ball well from deep here in the second half. We are within 2. 130, 128. Anthony Edwards with it for Minnesota. Edwards, layup. It's good! Minnesota's continuing to hold on to this lead. They're hanging on by a thread, but they're hanging on. 4-point game, less than a minute. Stokes for 3. No! Rebound by Towns. Is this where you start fouling? Gotta at least consider it. As George loses it! Loggins-Burrell with the steal all the way with the slam! We are within 2! Great defensive play by Roman Loggins-Burrell. To inbound, Dillingham has it. We do not want Stokes fouling. Not even going to take the chance. Roman Loggins-Burrell will instead. Rob Dillingham will go to the line. Much like the second half of Game 1, he's been better. Still not great, but better. And I will say this, Dillingham really has not guarded Stokes at all in the second half. So he's not the reason why their defense has struggled. It's mainly been Edwards and Melton, the two guys matched up with KJ, as the second one is good. If the Wolves were putting Dillingham on him, that would be malpractice. Also, how many points would Stokes have if he was guarded by Dillingham? Stokes, layup, yes! 78 for Kajai Stokes. He's getting close to O'Davia Shepherd's number in the finals against the Warriors. As Anthony Edwards is fouled by Destino, he will get 2. Minnesota with some loud MVP chants for their superstar. Edwards sinks them both. Warriors use their last timeout. I know exactly who I want shooting the ball here. I think Minnesota probably does as well, and so do you all. Kajai Stokes is taking the shot. The question is, what kind of shot can we give him, and how will Minnesota guard him off the inbound? I think our best chance to get him open is to try to set a screen before the inbound pass and have him shoot it quickly off the catch. Since we're down by 4, we also have to shoot it quickly anyway. 19 seconds left. Mobley inbounds it for Stokes. Stokes around the screen, throws up a 3. No! Rebound by George. He'll pass it out to Dillingham, who's fouled, and it is not looking good for the Warriors, down by multiple possessions, out of timeouts. Rob at the line makes the first. It is a 5-point lead for the Timberwolves. Second one is good, and now we're going to have to throw something up quickly, presumably with, again, Kajai Stokes, because who else is going to shoot the ball here? With 10 to go, Stokes looking for the screen, gets a semi-good look for 3. That one is off the mark. Towns with the rebound. We're going to continue to foul, but that kind of delays the inevitable. Down by 6. I think the comeback is over. We're going to take Stokes out of the game. He has played the entire second half. Since we're not going to win, I do not want him to have to move any more than he already has. 78, 7, and 7. A historic performance for Kajai Stokes in a loss. As the lead is up to 8, the Warriors will get one more shot off. Destino with it at the buzzer. Oh, now we're going to make our shots. Destino, who hadn't scored in the second half, finally makes it. 140-135 your final. The Timberwolves tie the series up at 1. This was certainly a fascinating game, though, because the story was not Minnesota. The story was Kajai Stokes in one of the greatest performances in the history of the NBA. Odathia Shepherd and Oscar J. the Sealant are the 2 best pure scorers we've ever had on this channel. Kajai Stokes' game here only rivals those 2. 78, 7, and 7, shot above 50% from the field. How did he not get more to his estimated wins added? That doesn't really make sense to me. By quarter, Stokes was terrific. And the weird thing is, he was really good in the first half. I mean, he had 26. But we couldn't really tell something special was happening until the third. Stokes had 29 in the third on 12 of 19 shooting. In the fourth quarter, the shooting percentage diminished quite a bit for Stokes. 23 points, 9 of 24, 1 for 6 from deep. And you're probably thinking, why were we forcing it up with him? Well, he was the only one who could get open, the only one who could create his own shot. Many of those misses came in the last couple of minutes when we were hurling up garbage. And when Stokes was not scoring, he was the lead facilitator for us. He was responsible for 37 points and had 6 assists in the fourth. Stokes was responsible for 37 of the 42 points we scored in the fourth. So yes, he was quite literally the entire offense in the second half. Also, getting 35 shots off in a quarter as a team is insane. How did we pull that off? The rest of the team really struggled. 19 for Kuminga. Nobody else was very good, though. 5 of 16 for Roman Loggins-Burrell. That is not good enough. Edwards had 39 points again, did not shoot the ball quite as well. Stokes had a really good game defensively. We took Stokes off of Edwards in the fourth to try to ease some of the defensive responsibility. 20 for Rob, 5 of 16. He didn't shoot it well. The bigs were efficient. 22, 10, and 7 for George. 7 of 11 for Towns. 8 of 11 for Jeffries. Certainly an interesting first 2 games. We win game 1 on the road, get the upset, and then in game 2, Kajai Stokes scores 78 in a loss. The offense is going to have to be better. It really starts with Roman Loggins-Burrell. He's got to be more efficient. He's got to be able to create his own shot. Stokes was the only shot maker for himself. He was the only guy setting up his teammates. Ranking Destino needs to be the true point guard that we know him to be as well. That'll wrap things up. Next time around, games 3 and 4 in Golden State. Hope you guys enjoyed. Certainly an interesting 2 games. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.